It's time for the Doublej Podplex, where wrestling lives. So man up and step on in. For all your wrestling news and commentary, here are your hosts, Jeremy and Jimmy.
Ladies and gentlemen, and kids of all ages, welcome to the Doublej Podplex. My name is Jeremy, and alongside me, as always, my co-host Jimmy. Jimmy, what's going on?
Oh, what a glorious day today is. You know, good God Almighty, we have got hope at last. We have gotten an early Christmas gift, if you will. We have gotten Roman Reigns losing at WrestleMania. OJ is being granted his parole. The juice is loose.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
I don't know why that makes me so damn happy, but it makes me extremely excited. I don't know. Maybe OJ Simpson's my spirit animal. I don't really know.
He might
be. Maybe so.
He's a damn good football player, I'll tell you that.
Oh, before he, killed those people.
Right.
But, and the thing is, look, man, maybe he didn't do it. I mean, he did, but maybe he didn't.
Maybe he did. Maybe he did.
Maybe, we'll see what happens.
Yeah. So, we had many things to discuss. Not really, but just, many matches to discuss, per se. But actually, I'd like to start the show with a little bit of bad news. And Chester Bennington, the frontman of Linkin Park, unfortunately passed away today. Today's July 20th, 2017. There were reports saying that he hung himself, committed suicide. That's something that's a touchy subject to some others, some people that have experienced something like that with a loved one or something like that, but yeah, so a sad day in the music industry, in the music business for sure.
Absolutely.
Linkin Park, known as one of the first nu metal, I guess you could say, bands. They kind of started...
alternative, kind of.
Yeah. So started getting
absolutely.
popular in the early 2000s. And, I'll listen to Hybrid Theory all day.
Oh, all day, every day.
Start
man.
to finish. Just let it play.
Meteora and Hybrid Theory, to me, were two of the better albums of my my upcoming.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about that. He is a guy whose musical talent and whose vocals... will certainly be remembered for a long, long time.
Yes.
If you remember also, he was the front man for Stone Temple Pilots for a short amount of time.
Yeah.
After Scott Weiland left. And that was when Scott was still alive, but no longer with Stone Temple
Right.
Pilots. So this is actually a huge, just a incredibly, shocking amount of news. And, definitely thoughts and prayers with his, I can't say him and his family, but with his family and his kids and,
His fans too.
his fans as well. It's a guy that will certainly be missed. And, one of the only musicians that I truly, feel a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
A person who I definitely have listened to, my entire life, like I said. So that sucks. But we are in the Doublej Podplex, and we're going to make it better.
Absolutely. That's what we're here for. So we're going to start. We're going to go over Battleground. We're just going to go over the matches and give our predictions, per se, and, just kind of give our small, short thoughts on the matches and stuff.
Yeah, because Uncle Jimmy has a toothache. Uncle Jimmy has a toothache this evening. It has nothing to do with stopping me from talking. I could talk till I literally pass out. Since I do have a toothache and I have zero health insurance and zero dental, in a few minutes, none. Like negative none.
You'd eat that, dog.
So, negative none. But, after this, we're going to leave and I'm going to get extremely liquored up. Because that is, hey, that's the only medicine I got, you know?
Yep.
That's, we're kicking it back to the Civil War days.
And it's what the doctor ordered.
They're about to come amputate 4 of my teeth out, and I gotta finish, a fifth of whiskey.
Right.
Before it's over with. So, wish me luck on that. But anyway, onward to Battleground. The last roadblock, which is also pay-per-view. The last roadblock before the great SummerSlam, the party of the summer.
One of the big four.
One of the big four, arguably one of the big two. It starts off, but before I even say what it starts off with, I'm going to finish up at the end of all of this tonight. There are 8 matches on the card for SummerSlam that we know of right now. I will let you know on a 9th. And Uncle Jimmy just might be involved.
Ooh!
Starting off.
Ooh. I like
Starting off the card. You start off with Mr. Perfect 10, Ty Dillinger, on the pre-show with Aiden English. Now, Jeremy, what I'm going to ask you, obviously I think you know what my pick is on this, but getting a little bit further than that, these are 2 guys, in my opinion, who are extremely misused. Now, I think we could say that about a lot of the roster.
Sure.
Which one of these guys has the best chance of becoming a upper mid Carter? Which one of these guys, not necessarily a top guy, because neither one of them will be. As much as I love Todd Dillinger.
Right.
But which one of these guys, in your opinion, is going to be, or at least has the ability to be, a upper mid Carter?
I'm going to go with Ty Dillinger here.
I may have helped you a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. That was an easy, to me, that's an easy answer right there,
Well, let me put it like this. To me, it's an easy answer too, but it's debatable. I think Aiden English has a hell of a lot more talent than people give him credit for. Mm-hmm. When he was with the Vaudevillains, his just charisma and his on-mic ability and his in-ring ability, is definitely underutilized and quite frankly underused. He is just one of those guys kind of waiting in the water. And, eventually he's probably going to get cut. This time next year, he may not even be with the company, which is unfortunate.
I can see that
which is unfortunate.
Yeah.
He's a guy who thrived very, very much so in NXT. Of course, he was also alongside Simon Gotch. Mm-hmm. I think he's a guy that could have broken out as a singles competitor, but I think obviously with Gotch leaving the company, it forced Aiden English to become a singles competitor far too soon.
Yeah.
But I would have to agree with you, and I think we're both on the same wavelength saying that we got the perfect 10, Ty Dillinger, winning at the pre-show. And, and yet again, I could go on about this for about an hour and a half if I wanted to. Ty Dillinger being knocked down at a pre-show, after waiting forever to become a WWE superstar is, it's not a slap in the face to him. Maybe a little bit of a slap in the face to people who followed him, though.
Right. Yeah.
So that is upsetting to me because that's my guy, but, is what it is.
Yeah, I think Todd Dillinger has a big fan following, people like him.
Fan following. From him being in NXT, since the beginning, obviously you always mention him being, backstage with Shawn Michaels getting super kicked.
That's funny.
But for him being, I don't want to stay on Ty Dillinger too long, but for him being a staple of NXT for so long, and a guy who at one point was a heel, and we did this and that, gained the respect of the NXT faithful, and became a fan favorite. Mm-hmm. Became a guy who was on the level of Sami Zayn as far as NXT was concerned, as far as how much they loved him. And that was, and yet again, another talent that, in my opinion, WWE is definitely misusing, but yet again, they have too much damn talent to begin with.
I agree.
Which is why, like we explained last week, if anybody's paying attention, my 3, Raw, SmackDown, and NXT being the same as far as all the big leagues and just spreading across the talent. Right. But that's, yet again, that's pie in the sky.
Right. Pie in the sky. I like pie.
I love
actually
pie.
have a piece of pie later. So now we're going to go to the tag team match for the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. The Usos versus the New Day.
Right.
Do you think the New Day could finally get back their titles? Well, not necessarily the SmackDown ones, because they had the Raw ones, but just the tag titles in general.
Let me put it like this. I think the New Day will be the first ever to hold the Raw tag team titles and the SmackDown tag team titles.
I'm picking up what you put down.
But not yet.
Not yet. Okay.
this is, and yet again, I mean, it's popular belief, and it's popular to say, popular thought as well, that big-time titles and big-time moments, like what we're talking about with the New Day, should be held off for SummerSlam or WrestleMania. Should be held off to a big pay-per-view. Could they easily decide, hey, you know what, we'll give it to them at Battleground? Of course they could. I do not see it happening. I see this feud, first of all, the feud between the New Day and the Usos is way better than I thought it could have been. Way better. The mic work alone, first, I'll get to the Usos in a second, but the mic work alone has been pretty good.
That rap battle, dude.
See that rap? That rap, oh my god.
That was really good.
Oh god, when he mentioned the thing about,
being
rated R like your boy.
Yeah.
Xavier, yeah. Dear God in heaven.
Yeah.
That was good. I mean, it was hats
great.
off to the Usos.
It was great.
But like I said, it's a good feud. It's certainly starting to be a watchable feud by all aspects. I see the Usos cheating to win, and I see the Usos moving on to SummerSlam to face the New Day yet again.
Okay.
Maybe like a ride or die type thing. If the New Day loses, they'll never have a shot at the titles again.
Right.
Something to boost it up. The Usos, however, one thing I wanted to say about them. First of all, like I said, I think the Usos do pull it off by any means necessary at Battleground.
Yeah.
But one thing about them, I get more and more every time I hear them speak. They're getting better and better and better and better and better on the mic. Maybe this is their actual persona. I don't want to, not ghetto boys, but the like kind of, gangster kind of hood type of mentality.
Straight out of Compton.
Straight out of
image,
Straight out of Honolulu,
Right.
But I like what they're doing, and I think they definitely do beat the New Day, as much as I hate to say it, because, I mean, I'd like to say who else could beat them, but,
who?
Exactly, yeah.
Who?
So,
yeah,
that's about where I'm going with it.
Okay, yeah, I mean, I'm just going to go ahead and copy and paste everything you just said, because I'm pretty much with you on that.
If everybody in this world, Jeremy, just copy and pasted what I said, this world would be a much better place.
It would.
It'd be a much better.
It would.
There wouldn't be as many bitch-made people out there, brother.
I agree. I completely agree with that statement.
Like, I'll get to that. I'll get to that at the end of the show for our 9th match. We'll get that at the end of the show. Another match we would love to bring up, which hits home to me a little bit because I am a big fan, as I've said many times, of the independent circuits. Sami Zayn versus Mike Kanellis, which is, of course, Maria Kanellis' husband. He decided to take her name. I'm not sure how I feel about that, but it makes interesting television. It makes, interesting, angles, I guess you could say.
Mm-hmm.
And I know your answer because I know how you feel about Sami Zayn, and I know how I feel about Sami Zayn.
Yes.
Mike Kanellis is also a guy that I followed for a while and who has the ability to do pretty much anything he damn well pleases if they give him the time of day. And yet again, that's with anybody. Speaking of if they give him a time of day, Sami Zayn. I'm trying to think of the best way to put it. Who benefits more out of this fight?
I would say Kanellis. Because it's his debut match.
Because it's his debut match, yeah.
Simply for that. I mean, dude, like Sami Zayn, to me, he's just like a really wasted talent. A really good,
extremely
really, really good talent, and they're just not using him right. But, I guess I'm just so used to Sami Zayn losing, so to speak. So, I mean, if he loses this,
my 2 cents on it is basically Sami Zayn has become, in my opinion, as of right at this moment, he's become Dolph Ziggler. He's become the welcoming wagon.
Yeah.
For newer guys coming into the company,
right,
they're going to pair him with somebody that will, one, make them look good because they are that damn good, as in Sami Zayn a la Dolph Ziggler. They will make him look that damn good and somebody who they feel will not injure them in any way either. And that's something more psychological with Vince and, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. As far as Kanellis goes, I think this ends up being actually a pretty decent feud.
I think it will be.
But as much as I hate to say it, and this has nothing to do with Mike. This has nothing to do with Mike at all. I think he is actually superb talent. Sami Zayn's gonna lose this feud, all in all. And that sucks. Mm-hmm. Yeah. There better be something looming in the wings for Sami Zayn. I'm going Mike Kanellis. Are you with me? You feeling Mike Kanellis?
Honestly, I'm gonna go Sami Zayn. Just because
Okay.
I like
All right,
him.
good,
I like
good,
Sami
good.
Zayn. He's one of my dudes. I'm gonna root for him every time.
You know, I hope you're right.
I hope I'm
you're
right,
right. That's
you know?
my guy, dude. That you know, I have a couple guys. We'll discuss Jimmy's guys later on tonight.
Yeah.
Or maybe we won't. I may be drunk by then.
Actually, you know what we could discuss right now?
What could we discuss right at this moment?
We could discuss vaping.
We could discuss
Do you-
vaping.
do you
I've been
enjoy
looking.
vaping?
I have been looking for a custom juice. I actually ran out of a juice I had earlier.
Well, you know what? We have just a place for you to go.
Oh, I would love to go somewhere to get a custom juice.
And that place is called Custom Vapors.
Custom vape. I heard of that place. I heard it's pretty damn good.
It's located at 1928 Williams Boulevard in beautiful Kenner, Louisiana. Our boy Jason and his wife, they run it. And, you know, you can get anything you want over there. You get another vape, some different juices, whatever.
Custom tank.
Custom
Heard
tank,
they got custom
anything
tanks.
you could imagine, they will have it.
I heard flavored condoms. Okay, that
You know what? Screw it. They have flavored condoms.
And I don't know if you knew this, Jeremy. As much as I love them as superb people as they are, as both of them are, he and his wife Megan, right behind that is the official location of Destination Fact. But anyway, we love Custom Vapors. Please go on down there and see them. They'll treat you right, I guarantee you. Tell them the boys at Doublej sent you. And remember, if it's not custom, it's crap.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Moving right along.
So now, we're going to go to, I guess, a renewed feud, if you will, between John Cena and Rusev, fighting in a flag match. When was the last time you saw a flag match?
I don't know, but I've hated damn near every one.
There you go.
I cannot stand a flag match. I think, you know, I understand the USA. I get it. I really do get it.
That's like beating a dead horse.
It's such a played out angle,
yeah, it's
dude.
beating a dead horse.
It is such a played out angle. You have two guys who could put on a damn show between Cena and Rusev, who have before. I don't like the USA sucks, that's why I'm against Johnson. I don't like that at all. And, you know, I'm gonna put it simple and I'm gonna put it sweet. John Cena's winning his first match first match back in WWE. He's beating Rusev. Will it continue? Who the hell knows? I don't know where this leads. I don't really like it that much. I think the two men involved will put on a show are two of the better guys on SmackDown. I don't like it. I don't think it's worth a damn. I don't think the build's been anything great. I'm just gonna say straight up, Cena wins. Flag on a pole match is a really dumb stipulation, and it kind of puts a damper on something that otherwise would have been a hell of a match.
Yeah.
So, Cena and, you know, whatever you think, I'm pissed. I don't know. The juice is loose!
The juice is loose!
The juice is loose!
And the juice will be loose at Custom Vapors when you go. How about
That's
that?
very nice. And then you can, later on, after you're done vaping, you can go in the back and go to Destination Fact.
Yeah, I love saying that shit.
I do too. I really do. But we rule the airwaves.
Right, that's right. We control everything in the air. And so...
I wish I controlled shit in my own life, but you know, the hookers just don't pay, you know.
No, they like cash too.
They like cash, they like blow.
Jimmy doesn't have cash on him. So
sometimes Jimmy never has cash on him. See, right. And they don't have nowhere to swipe a credit card. And, you know, not that there's anything even on the credit card. You know, it's maxed out as all hell.
Maxed out.
So it doesn't really matter anyway. But anyway, this has nothing to do with wrestling.
Yeah.
This is Jimmy's personal. This is Uncle Jimmy's personal life. We don't need to know about all of this. You know, you'll find out, and I'm sure some, you know, autobiography or, you know, court statements later on or something. But we'll figure that out later on. Mr. Jeremy, what is coming up right around the corner?
Right around the corner, we have the Fatal 5-Way Women's match to determine the number one contender for the SmackDown Live Women's Championship at SummerSlam. That is between Charlotte Flair, Becky Lynch, Natalya, Tamina, and Lana.
Whoo! All right. Let me start it with Tamina has no shot in hell of winning this match. Put that aside. Natalya has no shot in hell of winning this match. They're petrified to allow her to be in the championship picture for whatever ungodly reason. Mm-hmm. They are petrified to let Natalya get a title shot. No reason why. Possibly between Vince and, hating the whole Hart family thing. I mean, he says it doesn't exist no more. Believe me, it still exists. To me, it's honestly between Becky Lynch and Charlotte. I think Lana has a long way to go. I actually love the fact that she's involved in the women's division. I like that a lot. It comes down between, like I said, Charlotte and Becky Lynch. I see it being flat out. I see Becky Lynch winning this match, walking out of Battleground as the number one contender. Now, the question you may ask me next, Jeremy. Who will Becky Lynch be facing? Well, it's funny you ask me that. Becky Lynch will be facing Carmella at SummerSlam because Carmella is going to cash in on Naomi.
Wow.
Now, you also ask yourself the question, well, what about Naomi? Doesn't she get a rematch? Funny you should ask that. Naomi does get a rematch at SummerSlam. And you may say, well, it's just a three-way, right? Au contraire.
Contraire. Au contraire.
At SummerSlam, you will see the first ever fatal four-way for the women's championship in a ladder match. The fourth competitor obviously being Charlotte Flair. I think we kind of assumed that I was going there. Okay. That is my personal opinion.
Wow, that's a pretty bold prediction.
And Miss Becky Lynch is going to lose to Carmella. Carmella's walking out of SummerSlam as the WWE Women's Champion, or SmackDown's Women's Champion, by the way. But yeah, I'm going Becky Lynch all the way. Could be wrong, although I really am. That's basically blasphemy to say that Uncle Jimmy's wrong. Perfectly fine. Jeremy, who you feeling?
You know what? I love Becky Lynch. I think she's.
Really
awesome
I would get down on one knee right now.
I would,
and then I would tell her to tie my shoe.
I can't because I'm already taken.
But nobody knows that.
Well, true.
Actually, I think everybody knows.
Yeah, everyone knows. Yeah, everyone knows.
Yeah, me too. I mean, whatever.
But
whatever. Let's party.
As much as I put it this way, as much as I want Becky Lynch to win, I think Charlotte will win.
Mm-hmm.
I have a feeling she's just going to come out victorious here.
I will say I think Naomi's days are numbered as champion. I mean, obviously every champion's days is numbered, but
I was very happy when Naomi first won it.
I was too.
I think it was well deserved. She does really good in-ring stuff.
She does. Her entrance is phenomenal.
Entrance is great.
I think
exciting. It's all glowing and
she is all about excitement. Yeah,
I dig
absolutely.
It. So when they first gave her the title, I was really I was happy. I was like, this is a good move, and I liked it.
Oh yeah. Oh no doubt, man. I thought it was a long time coming for her, and I was happy to see it. However, it's the way, and yet again, this is me with, beating a dead horse. This is me with like a broken record, talking about the fact that it's about the climb, not the summit when it comes to baby faces.
Right.
And yes, there are some exceptions, but people like Naomi, that's what it's all about. People like Becky Lynch, whenever she does do it, that's what it's all about.
Right.
The money is in these heels who you hate and do a hell of a job, a la Alexa Bliss. So that's about where I stand.
Okay. Well, good.
Instead of 2 cents, I might have just given you 3 cents.
You may have.
Everybody's getting richer.
I'll take some cents.
Everybody's getting richer because the juice is loose.
Jimmy's excited.
I'm incredibly excited.
So, Jimmy, why don't you go ahead and say the next match?
I'm gonna dig into my bag of tricks and I'm gonna pull out a match. Okay, that's the wrong match. We're gonna go with Shinsuke Nakamura. I don't know why I said it like a Hispanic because he's nowhere near that. Versus Baron Corbin. I guess my question is not who wins, although I will tell you who wins in a second. My question to you, Jeremy, is not who wins. Who needs this match more?
Corbin.
You're gonna go Corbin.
I'm gonna go Corbin. And that's my pick as well. Okay,
well, that was to the point. Yeah. I'll emphasize a little bit more. I think I'm complete opposite on you on this. Actually,
really? Okay.
Which is something we don't do often. Which I actually like. I like this a lot.
Yeah.
It's like last week when I was arguing with Eric. It was enjoyable. Even though I was winning, it was still enjoyable.
Wait, Eric?
He almost died. Eric? Not Eric. Earl. Jesus, my bad.
By the way,
Earl, if you're listening, I'm sorry, brother.
And by the way, he is alive and well.
he is alive and well.
He did have a near death experience.
He almost suffocated on his own phlegm.
And I swear to God, I listened to that clip about 5 or 6 times in a row that next night, and I swear it's not because Earl was choking. Obviously, it was your commentary.
Well, thank you. Yeah,
that made it hilarious. But anyway, I digress.
Yeah, sometimes they just got to stay for the Jimmy.
Right.
Yeah. What was I saying? Nakamura.
Yeah.
I believe it's Nakamura on both sides. I think Nakamura wins this match. I think Nakamura also, I can't even speak. See, my tooth's all messed up. Nakamura deserves this win. He needs this win. Baron Corbin has the Money in the Bank briefcase. Sure. Baron Corbin doesn't need to win another damn match so he cashes in.
Yeah, you make a good point.
I think his push is in that Money in the Bank briefcase. I think Nakamura needs to get this win. This win by Nakamura at Battleground, which to me is a foregone conclusion, leads him into the title picture of his choosing. We may be able to see Nakamura and AJ Styles at SummerSlam, or, whatever he feels like doing. But I'm not going to predict that yet. I don't want to get too involved in that yet, but I do say Nakamura all the way.
Okay.
Kinshasa.
Actually, I do change my... I'm not changing my pick.
Okay.
But I do agree with you on Nakamura needing this win.
Hey, I can be convincing.
Because, I told you, I didn't even think about the briefcase.
Look, man, I can be convincing. That's the only reason I graduated high school. That's the only reason I do a lot of things that can't be expressed on this PG show. Right. So, Jeremy, where are we going next?
Where are we going next? That's the question. We are headed to U.S. territory here.
U.S. territory, man.
We are going...
I ain't been there in a while.
Right. We are going to AJ Styles defending his newly won United States Championship title against the former face of America, Kevin Owens.
Okay, let me put it like this. I'm gonna give it away early. AJ Styles wins the match, and it's not just because that's, a fan favorite here at the Doublej Podplex, and of course a personal favorite of mine. AJ Styles beats Kevin Owens for one simple fact, and I'm not even gonna look even deeper into, Kevin Owens might be injured, maybe we're gonna see an AJ Styles versus John Cena match at SummerSlam for the U.S. title. I'm not going that deep into it. It's quite simple. The fact is, you do not need two people on the roster as champions who are both anti-America. That's never happened, and that never will happen. Jinder Mahal, and I'm not going to say whether he wins or not, he does. Whether he wins or not, you're not going to have two guys. And as much as Kevin Owens is not really in your face about, anti-America, he is the new face of America, yet he's Canadian. You're not going to have two anti-American champions. That just is not going to happen in the WWE. And that, honest to God, is my reason for saying that AJ Styles retains. I'm not even going any deeper than that. That's enough for me. AJ Styles retains.
I agree. I think AJ Styles will retain. And, but yeah, you're absolutely right. There doesn't need to be more than two people that are all anti-USA, anti-America. You got Jinder Mahal doing it. You got Rusev doing it.
Yeah.
And then, it's like, but like I said, Kevin Owens isn't really like pushing anti-America, but he's just like...
He's not, but still in
all...
He's
just like, hey, I'm a Canadian with the U.S. Championship.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right.
WWE's never going to allow that to be their two champions.
Right.
That just isn't going to happen. So...
Right. So yeah, I agree with you on that. So we're both picking AJ Styles here. And moving on to the main event.
Main event of the evening!
Which is a match that is returning from the... I want to say the Attitude Era. What's the era I'm thinking of? The Ruthless Aggression.
Ruthless Aggression Era.
That's it.
In the Punjabi.
The Punjabi.
Prison
match. Between Jinder Mahal and Randy Orton.
Yeah.
I'm picking Mahal to regain here.
I think we're both picking Mahal to regain just because of the simple fact, why the hell are you pushing him if he's just going to drop it to Orton and just go back in obscurity? Jinder Mahal, if indeed and yet again, I want to hear your take on it, but I believe that Jinder Mahal needs another competitor. He needs something to do if he leaves the title. Because look at Randy Orton. Randy Orton could drop the title 1,000 times and still be a main event guy.
Yes.
Now, I'm not saying that Jinder Mahal is always going to be a main event guy. Mm-hmm. Upper mid card is where he belongs, and he honestly has done the work to get there as of right now.
Yes.
I say time and time again how impressed I am by Jinder Mahal. I say time and time again how much of an opportunity he jumped upon. He's a guy who should have never been in this position. And no, it doesn't have a damn thing to do with the color of his skin. But,
no.
He's a guy who was certainly overlooked time and time again. And he finally got this opportunity and he is running with it. Jinder Mahal does beat Randy Orton at Battleground. Simply because of the fact that he's leading to bigger and better things. The only time he drops the title is when they feel safe enough to take the title off of him. And this is business part. This is not, the face value of WWE.
Right.
This is what happens when Jinder Mahal is no longer feuding with Randy Orton. What happens when he no longer has that. He can not feud with Randy Orton and feud with who? He can feud with me if he wants to. It doesn't even matter.
Right.
As long as he still has that WWE championship that defines him.
Yeah.
When can he be defined without that title is the question. And I'm gonna shoot that over to you.
So, I think Jinder Mahal is doing a really good job, as champion.
I think he's doing a hell of a job.
I'm enjoying watching him. At first, for a lot of people, it was just kind of a shell shock when he won.
Completely.
And a lot of people at first were like, oh, just really negative about it.
Right.
And I'll admit, I was one of those people. But, once I kind of thought about it, I was like, well, this is, something different for WWE. It's like this guy who was part of the 3-man band. 3MB. And then he goes from there to champion.
Yeah.
And it's just like,
absolutely.
And you could tell, obviously with the workouts he does and his diet, you could tell the work he's done.
Oh, he's in top-notch shape.
A magnificent job.
Right.
So, my hat's off to him for that. And, I guess when you do hard work, when you work hard at something, you get,
hard work pays off.
So,
absolutely.
This is a really good payoff for him, being the champion and for holding it for this long. So, I think he's gonna beat Randy Orton. And, the last time Randy Orton had the championship, it was really boring.
Yeah, Orton's a boring champion.
It was a boring run.
He's a boring champion as a face. If he's a heel, he's actually a pretty decent champion.
Right.
And yet again, me with the beating a dead horse. I say that about everything, and it's true. I mean, it's just the way it is.
I guess I just don't see a point in giving Randy the belt back,
No, I don't either. I don't either. I don't see any point in it. And I love Randy Orton, but I don't see any point in it at all. One thing I want to say about Jinder Mahal before we get away from that is that all you indie people out there, and there's a hell of a lot of you, and I'm one of them as well. I mean, people you want to see as champion are people like Kevin Owens, people like AJ Styles, people like Dolph Ziggler, although he's not as indie, but he's a big internet sensation as far as that goes. Those are the same people that sometimes hate on Jinder Mahal. Oh, well, he's homegrown in WWE. Well, Jinder Mahal took a damn different road than people like Cena, people like Orton, people like who were bred to do this.
Right.
He is a guy who grew up on a frickin' farm. Jinder Mahal is not somebody that, just all of a sudden, you're handpicked by Vince to be this guy.
Right.
Hell no. Jinder Mahal,
he worked his ass off.
To get to this point.
Right.
And he deserves to be in this position. Now, like I said, they have to be sure enough that he can sustain some type of value after he loses that title. Mm-hmm. And that is going to be a real telltale sign moving forward. And yes, I know people are going to say, oh, well, Triple H did that basically, or Triple H and Vince did that to help out with the Indian audience. And yes, they did. And they needed that to maybe recruit guys in India, maybe get more of an Indian presence. And there's been a couple good Indian superstars across the globe. Yes, that's true as well. But you still needed a guy that was capable of doing so. And Jinder Mahal was capable of doing so. So, that's where I'm leaving on that.
Right. So, but yeah, I completely agree. I think Jinder Mahal is doing really good. and I think he deserves to be champion right now. So, keep the belt where it's at.
That's right.
And so that's it for Battleground as far as the preview and our predictions and whatnot. But we do have a couple of headlines, if you want to call it that.
Headlocks and headlines.
So there was something with Jason Jordan. There was something going along where Kurt Angle had an illegitimate child.
Uh-huh.
And we finally, found out who it was, and it was Jason Jordan from American Alpha.
Yeah, Kurt Angle went down to somewhere one night and he inducted his chick into Destination Fact. But yeah.
So, Jimmy, what are your thoughts on this whole, no pun intended, angle?
That was good. That was damn good, actually.
Right?
I like that. I'm gonna drink to that later.
Yeah.
Hopefully soon. But as far as that goes, the things that I think a lot of people were speculating was that it could be maybe, he had an affair with Dixie Carter, or he had an affair with Stephanie McMahon, and maybe they have an illegitimate kid, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It turned out to be none of that. The reception that it got on Raw was dull as hell. The exception it got on Raw was not what this is going to end up being. My humble opinion. First of all, in real life, he has nothing to do with Kurt Angle. If anything, they're buddies or anything,
Right.
That's not his son. So let's realize that first and foremost. As far as the storyline goes, I believe it goes, especially if American Alpha is indeed split up, which is a damn shame. But if they're split up, that sucks. But I think Jason Jordan starts to get match after match after match on Raw. I think he starts to get match after match, start moving up the charts, moving up the ladder because of Kurt Angle being the general manager and being his father. And I think it leads to Jordan doing what? Getting cocky and starting to cheat and starting to turn heel on him. Jason Jordan, in my opinion, is the next Triple H guy. Jason Jordan moving up like that and eventually calling Kurt out, calling him out, then all of a sudden saying, I am not your son. This was all done for me to get to the pinnacle. And I was hired by none other than Triple H. It starts a feud, a little, minute feud with Jason Jordan and Kurt Angle, but leading up to Triple H and Kurt Angle at WrestleMania 34 in New Orleans. And first of all, Jason Jordan even being in the ring with Kurt Angle is a huge boost. That in itself. So I'm really interested to see how it goes. It's one of those things I'm interested to see how they play this. That's my personal opinion as far as where I think it might go. But, I just want to see where they play it. Mm-hmm. As of right now, it's boring as hell. But I in no way expect it to stay that way. I think it definitely boosts up even as soon as next week.
Yeah, something needs to happen. But, Jimmy, I'm just gonna say you never cease to amaze me.
Oh, well, thank you, bud. Thank you. I appreciate that.
With that whole explanation, I was just like thinking, yeah, I can see that happening. And it would be really cool if it does happen.
Well, just remember, if it does come true, you heard it first on the Doublej Podplex. Like you said, man, it was a shock. It was a shock to everybody. I thought in the beginning when Kurt Angle came over, and I think we talked about this a little bit. I talked about when Kurt Angle came over, he was going to be part of a faction. He was going to be part of the Great Americans, or whatever the hell you want to call it, with American Alpha. I thought that was going to happen. And have American Alpha basically not fight his battles for him per se, but be basically their manager until he needed to compete, which of course in my opinion was still going to be Triple H. That's a no-brainer.
Right.
It's just like putting him in the ring with Samoa Joe. That's a guy who he feuded with forever. It's a no-brainer.
Right.
John Cena's a no-brainer. AJ Styles is a no-brainer for him. But, that was kind of my take on it. Did not see it going this way. But of course, here we are. Guess we'll see what goes now.
Yeah, that's something that's going to be interesting to see, in the upcoming weeks or even months, maybe.
Well, Jeremy, I want to ask you one thing I read a little earlier, and yet again, I'm not sure how true this is. This is still early speculation. But the speculation is that Brock Lesnar will not renew his contract after WrestleMania 34. Now, yet again, speculation completely. But what give me an idea on the impact, and I do have an opinion as well, but give me the idea on the impact of Lesnar not signing with WWE. First of all, I don't think he will, I don't think he won't, but what do you think the impact would be?
Wait, so you're saying you don't think he won't resign?
I think he's resigning.
Oh, you think he will resign?
Absolutely. Okay. Absolutely. If indeed that, is a big time speculation right now, which of course, as I read, it was, but how big of an impact if Brock Lesnar leaves, which is something that we'll obviously talk more on if it does happen. How big of an impact is that?
Well, Jimmy, they have people out there who are total Brock Lesnar guys. They love Brock Lesnar. Now, in recent months, since WrestleMania, when he beat Goldberg, to become the Universal Champion, I just think he's been a lousy champion. He's just, why give the championship to a guy who's, he has the marquee, the name.
Oh, by all
right?
means. Yeah, by all means.
So I get that. But, it's like, and maybe it's part of his contract. I don't know. But, at least have him make an appearance.
Right.
Every Monday or every other Monday, something like that,
Right, because he's obviously not with UFC.
Right.
So what the hell is he doing? Right, exactly.
Which is also rumored that he might be going back to UFC once his, again, rumored.
So basically the rumor would be that he's leaving WWE and going to UFC.
Right, once his,
what he did years ago.
little, suspension or whatever you call remember he had that that year suspension.
Well, from what Dana White says, he doesn't really want him back indefinitely. So if he did go back, he'd have to smooth things over with Dana White or go to Bellator.
Right, okay.
Which to me, Bellator's coming up. Bellator's not on UFC's level, but it definitely is coming up. And to be honest, Brock Lesnar is not that great of a fighter, and he would actually suffice more in Bellator. But yet again, speculation. But yeah, one thing I would say, obviously it's a big impact, like you said, because of the name value, because of, not necessarily the matches he puts on, but because of the attraction he adds to any pay-per-view.
Right.
One thing I would say, as far as Brock leaving, first of all, I don't think he will. Second of all, I don't want him to. Even though I've never been a big Brock Lesnar guy, I understand the meaning of him in this business. But as far as that goes, he is not the only guy that can play that part.
Correct.
Braun Strowman can. Hell, Roman Reigns can.
Yeah.
You have guys that can play that part. Baron Corbin. You have, Samoa Joe even, dude, really, that could play that monster part. It does not have to be Brock Lesnar. So if Brock Lesnar thinks he has the WWE by their sack, he doesn't anymore. Maybe back then, years ago, when we really needed him, yeah, maybe he did then. And I also realized years and years ago when we really, really needed him, he was nowhere to be found.
Right.
So Brock Lesnar has never been for the WWE, and I will say that 40 more times.
He is for him.
He's for him.
And him only.
Although I don't think that it's not that he doesn't care. It's that he cares about himself much more.
Yes.
And
he's strictly business.
He is strictly business. And Paul Heyman has only sided with him because he realizes how much of a draw that he is.
Yes.
Paul Heyman is a WWE guy. WWE is not a Paul Heyman guy. Paul Heyman is a WWE guy. And don't forget that part. But, although he does have his little antennas out everywhere, he is still a WWE guy, and he has been a WWE faithful for quite some time. So yeah, that's, I guess, my 2 cents on Brock Lesnar. Will he? Won't he? I guess at this point, who gives a damn?
Right. But, I just want to reiterate, it's like, the guy he rarely makes appearances. Lately he has, just because he had his match with Samoa Joe.
Right.
But, it's like, there's so many other great guys.
It's like a paper champion, basically.
Right.
Yeah.
There's so many great guys that are better wrestlers than him.
That we could sit here and name 10 guys.
That can hold this championship title and make it worth something. This is considered the highest rank as far as championship wise in the entire company.
Right, absolutely.
The highest.
Absolutely.
And you give it to a guy who rarely makes appearances. Well, I can't say recently, but just, since he won it.
Right.
Has really made appearances, has defended it once.
Once since WrestleMania. Let that sink in.
Once.
That's right.
Could you imagine if, say, back in the Attitude Era, when,
whoever,
when
Triple H,
Triple
Stone
H,
Cold, yeah.
Would have done this, like, dude, that would have been bullshit.
It's bullshit. You got
regardless.
booed every damn night. You got booed every damn night. That's
bullshit.
The championship belongs on the company that started it.
Yes.
It belongs there every week. And
right.
I'm a humble believer in that as well.
But yeah, so that's my 2 cents, and I'm just kind of annoyed with.
Oh no, I understand that completely. You know what I'm actually annoyed with, Jeremy? I think you may have been the one that told me about this a little earlier.
Yes.
There was apparently some comment made by some young man who thinks he's part of the Big Baller brand, which obviously he is not. LeVar would never touch you. Made a comment about our good buddy here at the Doublej Podplex, Chester Bennington, who obviously passed away today, as we said, which was very, very unfortunate. But he made a comment that sounded like what, Jeremy? What was around the lines of that?
It was around the lines of, hey, Chester Bennington's hanging out with his bud Chris Cornell. The quotations on hanging out.
Yeah. Well, it's words like that, the young man at some point deserves a little bit of an ass whipping. And look, I'm here to drink beer and whoop some ass. And last time I looked over there to my right, the beer's empty.
Yeah, I was just about to say that beer is looking mighty empty right now.
Those are things that to me just really should not be said. Jokes are jokes and everybody laughs and this and that, ha ha ha, whatever. And, guy who's behind his keyboard wants to type a little something, trying to be funny, and, that's just, not the way it was taken, especially from a guy who knows and respects both of them. So, one thing I will say to Mr. Amiri King.
Look, actually, I'll quote him.
We quote him.
He's hanging with Chris Cornell.
He's hanging with Chris Cornell.
Cornell.
That's much better. That's fantastic. Mr. Amiri King, I would like to humbly here at Doublej Podplex. This is Uncle Jimmy. I would like to challenge you to a street fight at SummerSlam. In the Oracle Arena. I don't even think it's an Oracle.
Yeah.
I would like to challenge you to a street fight at SummerSlam. Winner take all.
At the Barclays Center, huh?
At the Barclays. I really don't know where it's at. No.
Yeah, I don't know.
But, get ready, boy. It's coming.
Oh, it's coming.
It's coming. Believe me, it's coming.
It's coming.
So apparently we have another match already. This is the first match slated for SummerSlam.
Yeah.
Uncle Jimmy versus Faggot King.
King. There you go.
At SummerSlam. That's fantastic, man.
There you go.
So I guess that's about where we're at. Jeremy, the last thing I will say, I just want to once and for all really give my sincere best wishes and prayers for the Bennington family. This is truly a messed up situation that really they did not deserve, and now they are faced with. So prayers with them and Jimmy out.
Yeah, unfortunately, with suicide, it's just one of those things where it's just very selfish. I mean, you not only, you don't really so much hurt yourself, but you hurt your loved ones. You hurt them because it's not fair to them. You decided to be selfish and
right.
Yeah, well, I can't get any better at life or my life can't get any better. So I'm just gonna quit. I'm gonna tap out.
Right. Well, that's the ironic thing when we think about life. We think about, oh, well, it's my life. I can do whatever the hell I want with it. Well, the fact is, it's not just yours. There's people that you include in your life, and there's people that have a big part of it.
Granted, you can do what you want with it.
Oh, physically.
But not to say that there won't be any ramifications.
Right.
For what you do.
It's a very selfish act. It's thinking about absolutely nobody but yourself. Although I'm upset it happened, in no way do I look at what Chester did as, oh, that poor guy. That's, I guess, another story for another day, another talk for another day. But it is certainly a saddened situation. And I wished he could have maybe got some help instead of,
taking an easy way out.
Taking an easy way out, yeah. So that's about where I'll leave you. I think we here at Doublej Podplex have had a great night talking about this yet again. We will be following you up in about a week. And I hope y'all enjoyed it as much as we enjoyed spitting it out. For one more time, I would like to reiterate that the Juice is loose.
He is loose.
And Juice, you know where he's going. First of all, obviously, he's going to Destination Fucked. Yes, we know that. He's going to Destination Fucked. But after that, he is going to California. Is going... Well, actually, he's in California, but Destination Fucked is not in California, so he has to go back to California. So, anyway, he is going to Los Angeles. And he is going to the Lakers facility. And he's going to shake hands with Lonzo Ball. Because he doesn't know how to get in touch with LeVar. So he has to get LeVar's number through Lonzo. So therefore, he gets LeVar's number through Lonzo, and he wants to know if O.J. Simpson can be the newest beneficiary to the Big Baller brand.
The Big Baller brand.
The juice is loose, baby.
You're all about that, huh?
I'm completely about that.
I'm completely about it.
You know, somebody has to take that side, and I take it with grace.
You would, yeah.
I take it with grace.
That is something Jimmy would do.
So,
Uncle Jimmy.
That's right. So, we, myself and Jeremy are going to go have a couple beers so I can have this toothache go away. Y'all have a very, very safe and blessed new year, and we'll see y'all next week.
Later.